Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Activities for People Living at Home with Dementia. We are proud to offer this series with funding from the Area Agency on Aging and the United Way of Tarrant County. These programs, some of them are recorded and some of them are made available for viewing through a YouTube channel for future use. I am your host today, Martha Brown. Today, we are presenting Cookie Conversations with Gail Snider, who is both our chef today and our executive director at Dementia Friendly Fort Worth. Gail, I hear you're going to make some changes to your 1030 recipe, so I'm excited to have you back. It's all yours.
Thank you so much, everyone. And I think we have someone with us that I haven't had a chance to meet yet.
Oh, this is Annie and her husband, Don, and they're out visiting Katrina in Phoenix this week.
Hello, Annie and Dawn.
Well, hello there.
How are you?
How are you?
Hello, Dawn.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Good. And is that Katrina in the corner of the screen?
Yes, hi.
Hello, nice to meet you.
You too. Good to see you.
Okay, well, we're so glad you're with us today for Cookie Conversations.
Yay.
Oh, exciting.
So,
What was that, Annie?
My husband said that sounds exciting.
so this morning on our 1030 program, and I'm going to share my screen, we made pecan sandies.
Ooh.
And I'm still in the process of baking those off.
All right.
And so this afternoon, we are going to make pecan sandies, but I'm going to use some alternate ingredients.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So some people would say I'm going to complicate it. Some people might say that I'm going to mess it up. And some people might say that's a good way to see if we can reduce our sugars. So we're going to be using alternate flours and alternate sugars for this recipe.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
Will you be
So-
sending us both so that we can taste both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the recipe that you see on the screen is the original recipe. And after we do this, then I will edit the recipe to indicate what I've used for the alternate.
Okay.
So you don't have to worry about writing this down, Annie, because I'm going to send it in an email to you.
Okay.
Okay.
That'll work. That'll work.
Okay. So I'm going to stop my screen share so that you'll be able to see a bigger version of me and what's going on in the kitchen. And we are going to start with 1 cup of butter. So I have the butter and we need the butter to be chilled.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is we're going to cut the butter into cubes. And let me adjust my camera so you can see what's going on here.
Annie, you and Don have not had the privilege of seeing Cookie Conversations before, but Gail loves to bake, and this is fun for her.
Oh.
She surprises
All right.
us every once in a while with giving us the gift of cooking.
All right,
Done
so
with that.
I'm going to cut these
We
sticks
still
of butter.
can't see you if you wanted us to see you. I mean, we can see you, but not the butter. At least I can.
I have them both pinned.
There you go. I
Oh,
think
all
they
right.
still can only see one at a time.
Oh,
See the
okay.
Okay, so I'm going to cut the butter lengthwise,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to cut it in cubes. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And doing this is going to help us with the texture of the cookies. So now I'm going to put all this butter in the mixer.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to beat that. Now, our next ingredients are a half a cup of confectioner's sugar and a half a cup of granulated sugar. And I'm going to use the Swerve confectioner sugar replacement. So I'm going to use a half a cup of that.
Is it equal parts, the original and the substitute?
Yes.
I don't need to write any of this down, do I?
No,
you don't.
she's going to email you the recipe, Annie.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah. Gail, are these equal substitutions?
For the sugars, it is.
Uh-huh.
For the flours, it'll be a little different.
Okay. Are you still using erythritol sometimes?
Yes. So that's actually what the Swerve is
Oh, okay.
erythritol, if I'm not mistaken. Yes.
Oh, good.
This
What
is
is,
just
what is
the
it?
powder.
Can I get you one?
Erythritol.
Confectioners, okay.
Erythritol is a natural sugar substitute.
Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to be better for you than using regular sugar. And
You
then
use,
go ahead, Annie.
you use that instead of sugar?
For this recipe, that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
I've been working to change some of my eating habits. And so I experiment with some of my recipes and change up the ingredients to reduce sugars and regular flours.
Oh, sure.
So, and then we're going to use the Truvia granulated sugar, and it is also erythritol. It's just a different brand.
Okay.
And we're going to use a half a cup of that. And it looks almost like granulated sugar, just a little bit finer.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if has anybody used it before?
I have just bought some.
No.
The granules are a little bit finer than
Mhm.
regular granulated sugar.
Hmm.
And then we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt to that. And we're going to mix that together with the butter.
Hmm. What kind of cake are we making? A cake now?
So we're making pecan sandies. It's a
Pecan candies.
sandies.
Okay. Pecan sandies. It's-
Now we're going to do the alternate flours. And alternate flours tend, if you can imagine this, tend to be a little bit more dry than regular unbleached flour. So instead of using 2 cups, I'm going to use a cup and a half and see how the texture is. And I'm going to use part almond flour.
Okay.
My
What kind of
label
flour?
for almond flour.
Mhm.
And we're going to use, let's see, this one. I think this one is coconut flour. So it's a little bit lighter
Mm-hmm.
than the almond flour. So we're going to do, let's start with a half a cup of each.
Mm-hmm.
And a half a cup of the coconut flour.
Coconut flour.
You have the most cheerful kitchen, Gail. I cannot say that enough.
Thank you, Martha. And then I'm going to go ahead and do a 1/4 cup more of each one. So that's going to bring us to 1.5 cups.
Mhm.
Sorry about that. Got to get my labels back in my jars.
Oh,
But,
yes,
yeah.
that's important.
Mhm.
Okay, so now if you can see that other screen where the mixer is,
You have it on your cutting board. There you go.
there you go.
Battery is running low. It
Can you
said your
see?
battery is running low. You might want to plug in your PC.
Okay, that message would be for you, Annie. You need to
Okay.
you need to attach your power cord to your computer.
But if I need to do that, you'll tell me, is that right?
You need to get Katrina to do that for you. It's yours.
Okay, Katrina.
Okay, so this batter compared to the batter with the regular sugars,
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
not quite as stiff at this point.
Hmm.
This is just butter and sugar, but it's not quite as stiff as
you
it
gonna
was
get
this
the thing?
point.
Mm. Okay.
The battery is running low.
And now I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And I'm using a vanilla paste.
Gail, your camera over the mixer is gone.
Wonder why it did that.
It got tired of leaning over.
Let's see. It's trying to join again.
You
And
may want to
then-
plug in your PC. Is that what you're doing?
I'm also going to add a teaspoon of almond flavoring.
Mm,
Oh, that's different from your other recipe as well.
It
Okay.
is, yes.
This will be a nice thing to have a taste.
Your
test.
battery is running low. You might want to plug in your PC.
Is Katrina in there with you, Annie?
No, praise Katrina. Tell her we need to do. Tell her we need her.
Maybe. Don't.
Okay, so now I'm gonna mix in those extracts, and then I'm gonna add in the flour, and this is our 2 flour types.
Okay.
That's almond and coconut. Boy, that should be tasty.
Almond and coconut.
I
Mm.
bet it is. I bet it is.
You'll
Too.
find out.
I know.
And then the other part of this recipe is adding the nuts. And we're gonna, again, try something different. Okay, so now, interestingly enough, this, again, this batter is not nearly as stiff
Ah.
as the
Mhm.
batter from this morning.
Mhm.
okay.
But I think once it bakes, it's gonna taste drier
Huh,
than the regular flour,
Mhm.
interesting.
okay? And it's more sticky,
Mm.
obviously, because it's, and we might find that we need to add just a little bit more flour to it, but we're gonna give this a try. All right, now what I'm going to do is for half of the recipe, we're going to add almonds instead of
Okay.
pecans.
Mm.
So what I'm going to do is take out about half of the batter.
Hmm. Yeah, almonds.
And with the half that's remaining in the mixer, I'm going to add my chopped almonds. You see that?
Oh,
Mhm.
And I actually think real quickly, while we wait for this, I want to toast these just a couple of minutes. In the oven.
Mm.
did you use almonds in the morning recipe as well?
No, we use pecans.
Or just also this,
Fun.
no pecans on this one here.
Correct.
We're actually going to do half and half.
Ah, okay.
Half pecans and half almond.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to use half, I'm going to do half of the batch with almonds and half of the batch with pecans.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to pop these in the oven to toast them for just a couple of minutes.
Mm. Oh, that'll make it delicious.
Mhm.
I'm glad we know someone who likes to bake, don't you?
Oh, yes. It's
Yeah.
always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. So
He
learning.
I like to eat.
He likes to eat them.
Well, of course, Hans. I'm on your team, Hans.
Thank you.
Okay, so for this other part of the dough that I've removed, I'm going to chop up pecans for it.
Chop up the what?
The
Pecans.
to add to it.
Like you doing it.
And the main reason why I'm doing pecans in part of it and almonds in part of it is because I don't have enough almonds.
Anything except for when we're done.
Well, that's a good reason.
And when I ran my store run, I did not think to get any. Okay, so I'm going to add these pecans to this batter. And then I'm going to stir this together. So we've got the pecans.
That's hard to do when you're holding it up, isn't it?
A little bit.
I don't know if I'd have the balance. You're doing a good job.
Okay, so now
Mhm.
can anybody think about what smell we might have going on here?
Coconut.
Coconut
Hmm,
Coconut.
and almond,
I don't smell any coconut,
Hmm.
almond.
but I
Almond.
do smell the almond extract.
What
What?
if you taste the dough? Would you be able to taste the coconut?
I don't think so. Would you like for me to try that?
I would love
Yes.
for you to try that. Just a little bit. Since there are no eggs in it, you can do it.
Right, okay. Let's see.
Ah,
How'd it
No?
come out?
I don't taste the coconut,
You don't.
You don't
Okay.
taste coconut?
not really. I only taste the almond.
Maybe you should put some almond, some coconut,
Coconut
grated
flavoring?
coconut in, or just coconut, grated.
Okay, so everybody, would you like a taste?
ah,
Mm.
thank you. Yum, 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 yum.
Okay, so I'm gonna pop this into the freezer for just about 5 minutes to let this dough get a little bit more stiff for it to make it easier to work with.
Is that coconut? What's in here?
This is the alternate flours with almond and coconut flour, and it has
That you're gonna put
chopped-
on top?
chopped pecans in it.
Okay.
Okay, so I've just lightly toasted the almonds.
Mhm.
Can't really tell, and I'm gonna add those to our batter.
Almond.
All right. Now we're gonna mix that in with the mixer.
Gail, to your knowledge, do the alternate sugars react any differently in your body, like for maybe diabetics, or is it all the same?
I think it's supposed to be better. It's not supposed to have the same reaction, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But your body's supposed to react differently to these than it does to regular sugars.
Good to know.
Mhm.
You know, for so many people, regular sugars cause inflammation.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so now it's interesting, now that we've put in the almonds into this batter seems
Runnier.
Mm.
runnier than it did before.
Wow.
And all I did was add almonds.
Hmm.
Did you notice that right away?
Yes. We had some fall off. It glopped off the spoon. We were
Right.
talking about pinches and
Dollops and
dollop. Yeah, it dolloped off the spoon.
Mm.
Dollop of runny dough.
Mhm.
okay. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to go ahead and see if I can put this on the parchment paper to put it in a roll. Okay. So I'm going to dollop all of this
Garlic.
dough with the almonds in it onto this parchment
Oh, my
paper.
goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the folder?
Now, again, you can see on the board,
Oh, Martha's. It's sitting right.
it looks like mashed potatoes with the peels in it.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about that texture also.
Oh,
Well, that would
okay.
be fun to take to a picnic.
Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think you could still bake just putting teaspoons on or a little bit more on the parchment paper and then bake it like that and it will run out?
You know, I don't know. And you mean instead of rolling it?
Mm-hmm.
Probably could. I guess we could try that.
It's just to make it easy on you.
Let's give that a try.
Gail's all about it, being able to experiment.
Grab my
Yeah.
trusty scoop. So I'm going to use a small scoop. And we'll see how that comes out while we wait for the dough to chill. Because I think it's hard to say, these might spread a little bit more.
I bet they will.
Although in some of the other recipes we've done, whatever shape you put them on the sheet, that's how they look when they come out.
Mm-hmm.
It really looks like I'm scooping mashed potatoes on this cookie.
It does, yes. Is that how you made the pecan ones this morning with that, or how did you do those?
I know we rolled it. We rolled
Oh,
it.
you rolled
I'll show you
it.
that in just a
Oh.
moment. So I'm
Okay.
going to go ahead and try to form this into a roll.
Smart.
Hans wanted to know where Woodstock was, Martha.
He's on my shoulder.
Yeah, I told him.
Yeah. He's
Okay, so now I'm going to stick
trying
this
to
in the
sleep, I
freezer.
think.
He wants cookies too, huh?
Of course he does. Anything I have, he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that quick popping this one with pecans into the freezer,
Mhm.
it stiffened it up significantly.
Oh my, yeah.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to try putting that in a quick little roll.
I'm sure you've told us this before, but does your husband enjoy sweets?
No, not really.
Oh, lucky you, you get to eat it all.
Yeah.
That's
And you-
not always lucky though.
Now, you've worked so hard on your good figure.
Okay, so now, again, this is really sticky, more sticky than the regular one. I'm gonna roll this. Because what you really want is perfectly round circles before doing it the way of the recipe. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to cut some so we can bake a little bit of each one and see how they come out.
And you said this was the one that you had in the freezer for a little while.
Yes, this is the one that we mixed with the pecans. I don't think they'll come out quite as pretty as the ones from earlier today.
You know, it's not the shape, it's the taste.
Mhm, yes. And we'll be able to tell them apart a little easier, even though I know you're going to label them.
Mhm.
You're so good at that.
All right. One more, and then we're gonna pop this in the oven. All right. So this side is with almonds and this side is with pecans,
Ah,
okay?
little different.
Put
They
this
look
in
a
the
little
oven,
different.
and I'm gonna
Left
start with
arm.
12 minutes because as the day has gone on, my oven seems to be getting hotter,
I
like
bet.
the temperature outside.
Mhm.
And some of the cookies this morning or midday actually got a little too done.
You send those to me.
Gotta look to what you're doing.
Well, I'll have to show you if you think, because some of them I think they're almost too done to eat,
Okay.
but we'll see.
More like bird food.
All right.
How pretty.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Mm.
missed one.
Mhm.
All right.
Gail, I'm sorry that I won't be able to see the different cookies when they come out, but I have to run.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Yetta.
So am I.
So
Mm.
this is the ones we made this morning
Ah,
with the regular ingredients. That's the back side. And these we rolled and I refrigerated it to make it stiff enough to cut it
mm-hmm.
so that it cuts easier. And then you try to make them and they're not terribly thick.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that we did this morning, and I'll show you, let me grab my tube.
Now, are they crisp or are they soft, Gail?
They're kind
They
of
are crisp. They
They're
are
crisp?
crisp.
Okay.
So let me show you real quickly before you have to go. This is one of the ones from this morning and it snaps.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Nice.
So
Well,
nice crisp cookie. And if it gets crumbly, you can always use it as a topping on ice cream.
Yay.
Oh, okay. We'll do that. All right. You all have a good weekend, okay?
Bye,
You
Yetta.
too. Good to see
Bye.
you. Bye, Hans.
Thank
Now, Hans
you.
will stay. I think
Hans
Oh,
Hans
you're
will
gonna
stay.
stay.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Bye,
one
Yetta.
of the
Bye.
Bye-bye.
one of the things that we did this morning is add a little dollop of frosting to the top of the cookie. So when I
Ah,
was in high school, we had a bakery in town that I used to visit in the afternoons, and they sold them, they called them tea cookies. And it was a pecan sandy with like cake frosting in the center.
mm.
One of my absolute favorite things. So when I mail you your boxes, yours won't have frosting on them, but you can pick up a tube of frosting from the grocery if you want to add that extra little bite of sweet, or they'd be great with ice cream.
Mhm.
And people who like to dunk their cookies might like to dunk them in milk or coffee
Or tea.
or tea.
Yes.
A good cup of hot tea goes really well with these. Hans, you might more be used to calling this a little biscuit.
Little biscuit.
Probably where you come from, they would call this a biscuit.
Mhm.
Hmm.
So we'll give those cookies in the oven just a few minutes and we'll see how they're turning out. So does anybody have any questions about the recipe while we wait for those to finish in the oven?
It'll be interesting.
What I observed is that the cookies and other we
Cookies and what?
are always very sweet, so sweet.
Oh, very sweet.
Mhm.
And these aren't terribly sweet, even the ones with regular sugar. It's not
Got
a
a
terribly
question.
sweet cookie.
He has a question.
Yes,
How many
You're going to
cookies?
email it.
I'll send you the recipe by email.
And it'll go to Katrina.
Okay, Katrina.
Uh-huh. That's the only email I have for you.
That's good.
And
That'll
Annie and
work.
Dawn, how long will you be in California?
Several
Uh,
weeks.
The what? Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, Phoenix. So how long are y'all staying in Phoenix?
We've been here almost a week. We have a few more days, we're gonna say.
Okay, so should I mail the cookies to your address here or should I mail them to you there?
Probably there, huh?
In Fort Worth?
Address to Fort Worth, yes, yes.
Okay, all right. And Martha, you have that, right?
Yes, it's on our list.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
So you'll have a box of goodies waiting for you when you return home.
Well, Katrina's decided she wanted us to mail them here,
Maybe she thinks she'll
so
convince.
she can stick her hands in and take some out, I'm pretty sure.
I thought maybe she's doing that so she could convince you to stay a few extra days.
Oh, no. I might have to call you and tell you we only received 2 cookies and a big box with 2 cookies in it. And my cookies home, girl.
Well, let's take a ride across the kitchen and check on those cookies in the oven. How
Oh,
about that?
boy. I love the ride across your kitchen.
Oh, yeah.
Woo, best ride I've had today.
All right. You're not gonna believe it.
Hmm. Okay, we
I
won't believe it.
Look how they spread out.
Wow.
Oh, that's good. Oh, delicious.
They're not
Yuppie.
done yet.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
They spread out a lot. The others didn't do that. So they're probably gonna need at least 8 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That'll work.
All right. So what other questions do you all have about the recipe?
Well,
Any?
so far, I don't have any questions about the recipe.
Okay, well, does anybody have any good plans to stay nice and cool this weekend?
I'm staying in.
You're staying in, okay.
Yes.
We're staying in. We're staying in.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the temperature in Phoenix?
98, he said.
98. Well, this
Not good.
earlier today, we were talking about if it stays below 100, we think it has cooled off a little bit. So I understand Hans and Yetta are about to take a trip.
Yes.
Have you packed your bags?
What was your question?
Have you started packing your bag yet?
No,
No,
it's over a week.
over a
Still to go.
week. Yeah, some things you can't pack quite that far ahead. Is it supposed to be a little cooler there?
It will be slightly.
Slightly cooler.
Yes.
Okay. Great. Well, y'all if I don't talk to you again before then, have a wonderful time. And Martha, while we wait for these cookies, I'm going to let you go ahead and do your announcements. And
Okay,
then I'll come back with where the cookies are at the end.
that sounds like a winner, and I will do that.
Okay.
Does everybody see purple? Yes, okay. We have had cookie conversations with Gail both today at 10:30 and at 1:30. While we were all having lunch, 11:30 had the Fort Worth Opera today, which is always interesting. Let's see, now Monday is our next program get together, and at 10:30 and 11:30 on Monday, we are having our chair yoga, Nia Moving to Heal with Emily Corbin. And at 1:30 on Monday, we are playing TCU Frog Bingo. So be there or be square. And if you could come about 5 minutes early, that way you can get your bingo card and be set up and ready to go at 1:30 when the program starts. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all next week for a game, and I'm looking forward to the mail bringing us the goodies from Gail next week.
So hopefully you'll see those by Monday or Tuesday.
Yes.
And Martha, I was going to show you the batch that got a little overdone.
Okay,
This is what the underside looks like.
I'll scrape it off. Go ahead and send them to me.
There's about 6 like that.
Okay, since you
So-
don't have a dog, I'll take the burnt ones. Gail, thank
If
you.
nothing else, Woodstock can have them, right?
Of course he can. Yeah, a little at a time. They'll be his treat, and he just loves it when you send cookies.
All right, well, let's take another peek in the oven
Okay.
and see how those cookies are coming along.
Master, she wanted bird on her head.
They're still not ready,
Wow.
but they are starting to get a little more done.
That's amazing.
Yuppie. I see.
So I'm going to try another 4 minutes.
Mhm.
How did you win the bird, your bird on your head? How do I get that bird off your head onto mine?
Well, you need to order one from the pet store.
Oh, is that the way you get it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. He is
Hey,
my COVID bird.
Well, that's clear enough, sweetheart. I see what I can do. It is cute. How do you pronounce it? She, he,
I think
it.
unless it lays an egg, I'm calling it a he.
He's pretty on top of your head. And just stays there, huh? Is he
Well, it's
trained?
warm up there. He likes it.
Oh, praise. How long have you had him?
I got him as a baby. He's 2 years old.
You kidding?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
On
boy.
Monday, we went to the Sequest Aquarium.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And in addition to aquarium things, they have birds and turtles and snakes. And then they had a few farm animals, and they had a bird section that was full of all different colors of parakeets. I didn't see any sun conures though.
Well, that's a cutie you have on your head, I can tell you.
Thank
A
you. And he sure
cutie.
is sweet.
What's her name?
Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Hmm.
Oh, Shucky.
He's named after a cartoon character from Peanuts.
And he will not fly off without permission.
His wings are clipped. He can fly
Oh,
about
okay.
8 feet, and that's as far as he can go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, oh, that's precious.
Thank you. Thank you. He's my partner.
I know, I can see.
Yeah. When COVID came along, I needed another beating heart in my home. And I'm allergic to dogs and cats and rabbits and horses and anything with
And
fur.
that was your choice.
This is my choice. Yeah.
Made a good election.
Yeah. Thank
Made
you.
a good,
Thank you.
pretty.
Okay,
What do
so
you
I-
see, Gail?
I pulled this dough out of the oven, or I'm sorry, out of the freezer to
Mhm.
see if it was ready for slicing, and it really isn't quite ready yet
Mm.
because it just wants to smash.
Ah.
I'm going to return it back to the freezer. Now this other one might be ready. This one, which has the almonds in it, might be stiff enough for us to work with. I'm gonna roll it just a little bit to try to get that rounded diameter to it if I can.
Those alternate flours just aren't acting quite right, are they?
No, they do differently.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is there is part of it that's freezing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of doing what I made some homemade ice cream,
Mm-hmm.
peach flavored using the alternate sugars.
Mm-hmm.
And when it freezes, it kind of crystallizes. And so it makes it ice. And that's what this is doing as well. So
Okay.
yet a suggestion about using the cookie scoop may be a better way to do these.
Oh, Hans, you'll have to tell her that was a great idea.
Yes.
Yes.
That was a great idea. Great idea.
So I'm cutting them, but then I'm using my fingers to kind of put it into a round shape.
Good.
There's my buzzer again. Let me see how those cookies look.
Great. And she's
It's
going to
your-
take her own trip down across the kitchen this time. Sometimes she'll put us on the cart and take us with her. I hope everybody, oh my goodness.
Right. So if you can see,
Oh,
they're still very soft, but the edges are lightly browned. Can you see that?
Yes, yes.
But they're going to need
Yeah.
to cool before I try to move them because they're still very,
Oh, good.
very soft.
Haven't set up yet.
They haven't completely set up. So as they cool, I think that will help them set. It's kind of like a chocolate chip cookie. You
Yes.
try to take it off with a cookie sheet too soon, it falls apart. That's where we are with these.
How fun to experiment.
So let's go ahead and get the rest of these with almonds onto our cookie sheet. And we can get something else in that oven.
And then you can turn it off and you're done.
Yes,
I bet your kitchen's warmer than you like it to be.
it is warming up a little bit.
Do you have any parties coming up, any baby showers or anything for church or any, no functions?
No, not really.
Did things like that stop meeting in person when COVID came along?
They did a lot of things like drive-throughs, like drive-through baby showers and things like that. They did a lot of that.
Good. I don't know if everybody's heard or not, but our president has COVID.
Yes.
It's what?
Our president has COVID.
Oh, really?
They announced yesterday he has a mild case and he's taking the best medicines and he's isolating. Even the first lady's gone to their other house.
Got to do a little extra praying then.
Please, a little extra. We need good leaders.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, that's glad you told me that.
Well, they caught it early and he's got the best treatment. So they expect a good outcome. That's
Okay.
pretty, Gail.
How do you catch it? How do you catch it from someone?
No, nobody knows.
No
All right, so
food.
this is the last
Bring
of
us-
the almond batter,
Uh-huh.
and hopefully these won't spread quite as much as the others.
Absolutely. Beautiful.
Pop these
Gail.
in the oven and check on those others.
Okay.
You see, if you have it and if you're not isolated, then that's how you spread it. If you're not going to be isolated, you can go anywhere you want to go, be wherever you want to be. That's how others become contagious.
How sad.
Mm-hmm,
Oh,
yes.
pretty.
All right. So I'm gonna take off the smallest one here on the corner
Mhm.
Okay.
so we can take a
Oh,
peek.
girl,
at it.
you got it together there.
All right, so it's still very soft. It's not cooled yet. And
Mhm.
it doesn't have that crunch that the others have.
Mhm.
The one I showed you from this morning that just breaks in half.
Uh-huh.
You don't
This
have
isn't
that.
gonna do, this isn't gonna do that.
Okay.
It's very soft still.
Uh-huh.
Stop.
So I think it'll just crumble apart, but it'll be interesting to see what happens when it fully cools.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll send a sample of these in your boxes as well, so you'll have the opportunity to see what they both look and taste like.
Excellent. Thank you,
You're
Gail.
gonna send them where now? You're gonna
I'll-
send them?
Yes, and I'll send your box to your, Martha, do we have the address where they are in Arizona?
Yes, we do. It's on the list.
Okay,
Okay.
then I'll be mailing them this afternoon.
Okay, well, yum, yum. I'll be ready for them.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Y'all
And hi-
have a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
And I'll see
thank
you
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 soon.
much.
have a good day too.
Thank you much.
Bye,
Okay.
Annie. Bye, Don.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gail.
Take
Bye,
care,
Thank
my
you,
friend
Martha.
there.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Take